he loves Batman more than me because he's wearing a hoodie with ears on it. That's awesome. Give it up for Kyle Adams, everybody.
How much you guys want to bet that James put that glory hole in the front door of the men's room over there? Slip your fingers through there. He's going to be on the other side. He was talking about losing your virginity. My story is pretty embarrassing too. I lost my virginity to the Daredevil soundtrack in a pool, and then the girl stole the soundtrack afterwards. So, I am wearing a Batman hoodie. Yes, I am. I had a lady at work. I overheard her actually say to her husband when she saw me wearing this, and she goes, "Some people never grow up. They just never grow up, you know." And I just don't understand it. It's like she thinks I'm like obsessed with Batman or something. I just don't understand, you guys. How are we doing tonight? How is it going, you guys? Woo. Yeah, woo is an appropriate response for a comedy setting. It's not an appropriate response for the workplace. You know, I wish I could be honest at the workplace and tell people how I feel when they ask me that question, how's it going? And an honest response would be, you know, I'm trying to find that sweet spot of nihilism where I just don't give a shit, but at the same time, I want to better myself. But maybe that's selfish. And then I ask, how's it going with you? And they say, it's going, which is literally the most depressing fucking thing you can tell another human being. My life is meaningless. I have no recollection of my days. It's going. Read the subtext, you guys, like seriously. I wear a Batman shirt, but I realize the only thing I have in common with Batman is that my mom is dead, and we both enjoy wearing black, but for different reasons. He wears black to instill fear in his enemies, and I wear black because I'm afraid of how I look in the mirror. But if we're breaking down superheroes here, I think Captain America is literally the lamest superhero in the entire world. I mean, let's break down Captain America's story here. I'm just a little guy, but I really want to fight. And the doctors gave me a shot, and now I can't get drunk. And no one listens to swing music anymore. It's just a rough world. Next time I see someone wearing a Captain America shirt, I'm going to ask them what their favorite comic from Captain America was. And when they start to stutter and stall because they've never read one, I'm going to douse them in melted American cheese. I'm a little biased though because the only Captain America comic I ever read was from a doctor's office, and he fought the literal personification of asthma. And even at 6 years old, I'm like, you know, he really needs more tangible villains as Captain America. But I'm also jealous because my only superpower is server hands. Because I work at a restaurant, and my only superpower is server hands. Like I can distribute weight evenly, a lot of it between my fingers, and that's about as far as it goes. I work at a very corporate burger joint. Let's call it Blue Buzzard for legal purposes, because I'm pretty sure they have bottomless lawyers on retainer. I don't want to reveal any secrets about that company. That would be like letting the Mike Whipple mac and cheese out of the bag on that one. And I have to tell people right now, we're out of hard-boiled eggs, and my theory is that there's a GMO chicken that poops hard-boiled eggs, and its DNA is destabilizing, and that's why we can't serve them anymore. But they would say snitches get stitches for giving away secrets. But I would say once we prove that genetically modified foods give people cancer, it's going to be consumers get tumors. And I used to work at a little mom and pop place, and I realized that working at a mom and pop place is different. You know, when you're working at a corporate place, they call you a server because you're basically a servant. Mom and pop place, you're a waiter because you're waiting for people to come in. And we used to have this like big band music they would play there, and it'd be like Frank Sinatra. It's like, you fell in love. And love is a tender trap. And I'm sitting there and there's no one in the fucking restaurant. I'm the only person there, like, this is the trap he's talking about, right? Like, I'm here right now, it's happening. But and I live out in Beaverton right now, and I realize that Beaverton is living in Beaverton but wanting to be in Portland is kind of like living with a divorced family, you know, like Beaverton's my mom and Portland's my dad. And it's like, you know, it's like, Mom, Dad lets me listen to whatever music I want to, okay? I can get tattoos if I want. He even took me to a strip club once, you know, and I'm talking to my mom, what can we do out here? What can we do, Mom? We can go shopping, or we can go out to eat. It's like, yeah, but you always want to bring your friends from Vancouver, and they always bring their fucking kids, and I'm not down with that, you know? So they want to defund Planned Parenthood, and I think that's a terrible idea. I honestly think we should go in the opposite direction and increase the funds, and we should put a Planned Parenthood in every fast food restaurant. That way, when you see little kids just losing their shit and jumping all over the booths and stuff, you might be a little more inclined to pick up a brown bag full of condoms. And an RU486 goes down real smooth with a creamy milkshake. That's abortion bill. My dad's a hero because he got a vasectomy. He saw who I was, and he saw what was on the table, and he threw his vas deferens into the ring, and he tapped out. But he had a side effect. He had like massive hematoma, and his balls just got really big and bruised. And it's fucked up. My mom had a purple themed Christmas that year, and all she had was purple balls on the tree, and she hung them in pairs. And I knew that I had a sixth sense of humor since then, because I thought that shit was hilarious. But I'm gonna get all weepy-eyed and nostalgic if I start thinking about the past. I realized that a lot of the things like our generation is devoted to is like nostalgia, and it's kind of not something that I would want to follow for one reason, because there's this movie I loved in the 90s called Surf Ninjas. Has anyone seen that? So there's this red-haired guy in that movie, and I wanted to emulate him. I wanted to base like my life after that guy. I was like, he's the coolest guy I've ever seen. I look it up on IMDb. The red-haired guy is Rob Schneider. Nostalgia will fucking blind you. Don't fall. It's pretty pathetic. Like the millennials, that's all we have is like looking back. So you remember how great Rugrats was? And, what the fuck do we have? We inherited this emptiness.
Cars.
What? Self-driving cars? Was this Jurassic World?
It's coming.
What?
It's coming.
It's coming. They're coming. Really? That sounds pretty great. Yeah. I don't know about self-driving cars. I don't know if that's worth everything that we're going through right now. It might be, yeah. Let's see here. I'm from Florida, and there's a bunch of assholes in Florida, and the only thing you can do is like jump in a pool to cool off. That's the only thing you do. So I realize there's a lot of chlorinated assholes in Florida. So if I ever make my way back there, I'm going to start my own business. It's going to be the world's first anal bleaching and tanning salon in one. It's going to be called Whole Beach Tanning Salon. And I've got a nifty jingle to go along with it. You guys want to hear the jingle to my business venture? Yes. All right. Come on down to Bleach Butthole Town. We'll turn your brown pots white and your white pots brown. Let's see here. I'm getting sick. I was talking about nostalgia earlier. I'm getting sick of reboots and redos and all this stuff. And The Rock can't be in every fucking movie, okay? I'm getting sick of it. And I realized it's bleeding over into, it was in Hollywood, it's bleeding over into Washington, D.C. at this point. We have another Clinton running, we got another Bush running. And the only reboot I want to see is Weekend at Bernie's. And I want it to last 8 years. Because Bernie Sanders is the grandfather I never had, telling me fairy tales. Tell me the one about free college again, Grandpa Bernie. Will we really rebuild our infrastructure? Only if you believe, Kyle. Only if you believe. And remember, you're never too big to fail. I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself here, Bernie. Just a tad. An interesting reboot I would like to see as well, another one maybe would be a reunion of the Andy Griffith Show, because the only person that's still alive is Ron Howard. So it'd just be him alone in a graveyard. Alright, that's about all I got right now for tonight. Alright, thank you very much, guys, for staying out. I hope you enjoyed everything. Thank you for Indiana Jones in your way over here.
Yeah, I didn't have any boulders to dodge.
Oh boy. One more time for Kyle, everybody.